Well, one of the first things that you see when you come to visit the Oklahoma Gardening Studio grounds is the entryway to the Arboretum. And I wanted to take a little bit of time and show you some of the progress that's been made since last fall. Well, if you'll recall, last fall we held a design contest with the Landscape Design 1 class, and Shauna Kidd was the winning student with the design that we chose for our entryway. Next, the students in the class actually began with the implementation of the plan, and they had to remove several existing shrubs, also a fence, and a sign, and it was actually some pretty dirty work. Next, we had to haul in 30 tons of topsoil here, and you'll notice in the back we've installed a nice split rail fence instead of the old pipe fence that we had. In addition to this, there have been several low rock walls built, and you'll notice that these walls don't contain any mortar. These are dry rock walls, and they've been staggered backwards, and that helps them to stay firm. Well, some of the plants that we've planted out here include some trees and shrubs, and one of the main things about the plants that we've chosen for our entryway is that they be very hardy and drought tolerant. This is because we don't have an irrigation system out here right now, and so they have to be plants that will survive with infrequent waterings. Now in the back we have our staghorn sumac, and this is a very beautiful plant. It has a nice shape to it, and it will have great fall color. The only thing to remember with a staghorn sumac is that it tends to sucker a lot and have a lot of seedlings, so you'll have to keep after those a lot so you don't have a whole grove of these. In front of that is one of our butterfly bushes, and this will provide some great color here the middle to the end part of summer. We've also installed several clumps of Ravenna grass, which add a nice contrast to the shrubs and trees that we have planted here. Two of the crepe myrtles that will provide us with some great kind of later summer, fall flowering color have been installed here. And also in the back we've got another sumac, which has a different leaf to it, and that's our fragrant sumac, which will provide some nice texture to this landscape. Now, in addition to the shrubs, we have a lot of perennials here, and you'll notice that we have planted yarrow, also some lamb's ears here, some salvia, and the rudbeckia here was actually a volunteer seedling that came up, but it looks so nice that we decided to leave it in. Now the periwinkles here are actually part of the spots of seasonal color that have been worked into the design. Now we have periwinkles here on both sides of the road, in the front and in the back towards the fence. We have purple wave petunias. Now these will actually be rotated out, and something else will be in there in the fall as part of our seasonal color. Now this design is actually, for the most part, mirrored on the other side of the entryway. Here you see the periwinkles and some of our shrubs, and also in addition to the plant material, several large boulders have been placed in the design to actually add some contrast and make it look more natural. Well, you'll see that we're not quite finished with this design yet, and you can tell that by our temporary sign, which will be replaced by a permanent sign, and we don't have everything planted yet. We'll start planting again this fall when the weather cools off and the plant material will do much better. But I just wanted to give you a taste of what this looks like under construction to let you know that out here at Oklahoma Gardening, things don't happen overnight. Even though they may seem to on the camera, it's sometimes a very long process, much like it is at home. Now, you can get an idea of this process by visiting our studio grounds, and you're welcome to come and visit any time except for Tuesdays, and also on the first Saturday of the month we have an open house from 10 a.m. in the morning to 2 in the afternoon. And if you'd like to schedule a guided tour, you can call 744-5404. Well, before we move on, I wanted to show you one last plant, and that is the Rosy Glow barberry. The first thing that strikes you about this plant is the wonderful purple color that it has. And here we have these wonderful purple leaves, and the leaves actually have kind of a teardrop shape. Now we've got some thorns on this barberry, and if you look on down in here, this is what gives it the Rosy Glow name. We have some variegation here, and there's kind of a marbling with the red and the purple on this. Now you get the best color for this plant if it's planted in full sun, and it actually likes a full sun environment, and it takes some water, but not a lot. It's a drought-tolerant plant, and it's actually a very good plant for kind of a hard situation. And the great color that it adds to the landscape without flowers is wonderful. Now, this plant adds purple color, and we actually have several plants at our studio grounds with purple color in them. And let's go take a look at a few of those plants.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. You can also find more recent videos on our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.